Now, I know you guys are all wondering what gave this guy the courage to record a video this time round. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Steve Nyanumba and this is TechChess. So today, wow, it's been a while since I did anything to do with coding, especially on this channel. But today I had something so cool that I wanted to share with you guys out this time. And it's something to do with Laravel, actually. I know some of you are still not convinced that I'm a coder, and I'm actually very conversant with a lot of this PHP and all its frameworks, JavaScript and most of the frameworks. And I'm here to teach you guys. I'm here to show you. I'm here to educate you guys so that we can all learn as a whole community. I mean, you guys saw my first video in Laravel Jetstream. I didn't use the inertia very well, and you guys corrected me on that, and we were learning as we were going, and you guys could actually see that there are so many things that we had to go about in terms of ensuring that Axios works well with inertia and stuff like that. But you know, today I have something so cool to show you guys. This is on how to change from Tailwind CSS to Bootstrap CSS, and that's when we're using either Laravel Breeze, Laravel Jetstream, either Inertia or Livewire, whichever you guys will want to use at the time. So without further ado, I just want to start this off by saying we're gonna code this as a full-on game of chess. As you guys know this channel and you know how we introduce this, you know, you actually have even seen the title, so let the show begin. Alright, so one thing that we need to understand is that beforehand, before Laravel actually had Jetstream, Inertia, Breeze and all those things, Laravel had a package called UI, which was in full support of Bootstrap, and it had these capabilities of putting in React and Vue, whichever you'd want to choose. But we can see recently, when Laravel 8 came knocking, we could see that Laravel had this preference, so to say, of having Tailwind CSS as the main CSS guide for each and every one's UIs. We could see it within Jetstream, we could see it with Breeze, and even regardless of whichever package you're using, whether it be Inertia with Vue.js or with Livewire and the Blade templates, we could actually see that Laravel was really pushing for Tailwind CSS, as well as pushing for Vue.js as the main binding framework for the front end. So we could actually feel there was a very huge disconnect from those guys who are preferring to use Bootstrap, and then also for those guys who prefer to use like templates to guide them in building the UIs for most of their web apps. They couldn't do that with Tailwind CSS because there are very few places where you could get those templates, and with Bootstrap they're just laid there for you to use for most places for free, and then also for most places, if you're buying this template, you'd be getting Bootstrap as the main source of every single thing that was being packaged within those templates. So now there's a very good addition to what I'm about to show you. For most guys who have tuned into this video, you guys may have probably been familiar with a certain person called Nascent Africa on GitHub, who created a package for Bootstrap to be converted, for Tailwind to be converted to Bootstrap on Laravel Jetstream or Laravel Breeze. So this is the GitHub page, and the package itself was called Jetstrap. This is the one. So Jetstrap, in his about, he said it's a Laravel 8 package to easily switch Tailwind CSS resources generated by Laravel Jetstream and Breeze to Bootstrap 4. So it's actually a switch. So you either have to be already using Jetstream or you are using Breeze. And that for me, I think, was a very good addition. It was a very good promotion to use Laravel Breeze or Laravel Jetstream to craft each and every single person's applications whatsoever. So this is what goes on with the Jetstrap. Of course, it requires Jetstream to be working or Laravel Breeze. Don't forget, you need to have either one of the two to be, fully conversant with in this situation. So I'm going to actually go on and show you guys that I have already crafted a certain application over here, and I called it Bootstrap Test App. So I'm just gonna copy this and code it. So Bootstrap Test App, and it's gonna open VS Code for us. For that application. So this, I crafted a fresh Laravel 8 project based on nothing really, just Laravel and it's all its default components. So if I come in here and just do a small PHP artisan, a serve, and then run this app in my browser at this point. So I have opened this, and this is actually what is entailed in this project as we speak. So there's no authentication, there's nothing whatsoever. This is Laravel version 8.5.6 with PHP version 8. And everything is working very seamlessly, very fine and dandy. So this is just the default page, and which is being run from the resources/views/welcome.blade.php. So you guys will be able to find this running all on Tailwind CSS, no, all on its own CSS actually. There's nothing here that states claim to anything else. As you can see inside our welcome, we'll have a section where we have all the CSS that is in place. But that being said, I'm pretty sure this is all just straight up Tailwind CSS, because I could see most of the classes that are usually present in Tailwind CSS. Alright, so we want to install Laravel Breeze or Laravel Jetstream. I prefer to use Laravel Jetstream, and I also prefer to use the most complex of Laravel Jetstream's packages, which is Inertia, in my opinion, of course. I'm not going to sit here and say that, okay, those guys who are using Laravel Jetstream's Livewire are in the less complex side of things. I'm not going to say that. So that being said, I'm just going to start and do a composer require, and then I'm going to say Laravel stroke Jetstream. And before I run this command, I'm just going to do a few things here. I'm going to run PHP artisan so that we can understand. Like, I'm doing this so I can teach someone who is like actually a beginner getting into knowing what and which one to use. We have no Jetstream commands over here, and we all know what this is going to do. This is going to add a command called Jetstream within our Laravel PHP artisan commands. So I'm going to run this command and let it install all the packages as required. And today I'm gonna be having some hot cocoa, which is black. I can't be asked to have coffee all the time. I know for some of you it's a first, but I'm not addicted to caffeine. I'm addicted to the sugar. Alright, so the package has installed, and we can see that we have all these dependencies for Laravel Jetstream that have been installed, as well as the Laravel Jetstream itself. So I'm going to come in here and go to PHP artisan and run that command again. Now we can actually see that there's a new command that has been added, which is this one, Jetstream install. Compared to this one that was there's no Jetstream anywhere over here on this first list. So it has actually worked. So what we're going to do is Jetstream, PHP artisan. Let's just do that. Jetstream :install. Now, this command always takes in another parameter. So you either choose Livewire or Inertia. I myself am going to use Inertia without teams, because I don't think I have this capability or capacity to have teams inside my applications just yet. And I'm just going to run this. So immediately I run that, before anything else, I want to do a git init actually. So there's a migration that was created just now, and this is this one, the sessions table. I'm going to delete that so that I run this command line again, so that you guys can actually track. We can all track the changes. Git init, and then I'm going to do git add all and git commit at the start of bootstrap test app. And then I'm going to run git push, or rather, since I've committed, I can just leave them as is, because I've not declared the remote repository yet. Okay, so I'm just going to do the php artisan command, jetstream install inertia. It will create the migration. That's the first thing that we can see. The sessions table is there. And then the next things that it's going to do is it's going to do some changes to my app.css over here, and add some of the Tailwind, and it's also going to add Tailwind packages on the in the main directory, in the root directory of this application. So we'll see Tailwind config and all those things ready for us to use. You can see Tailwind config and webpack config.js. We have webpack mix, which has also been modified massively, and yeah, we have run that. So you can see inside my views, inside resources, it's changed from welcome.blade.php to app.blade.php. So if I was to say git status, we can see these are the changes that have happened to everything. So we can see these are the untracked files. These are the files that have been added into our project. And then these are the modified files and folders. My .env.example has been modified. My create new user has been modified using Fortify, because Fortify is a package that is being used by Jetstream massively for authentication purposes and all. We can have Composer, of course, Composer JSON and composer.lock.json has been changed. What else has been changed? We can see our package.json has been changed, and these are the changes you'll find. These inertias, the views, the Laravel mix, Axios, all those things have been changed just now. What's next also on that list is our webpack.mix.js, which probably wasn't present. Oh, it was present, but some of the changes that have happened were not present just then. Like, for example, the require Tailwind CSS requirement over there, and the post CSS as well. We can also find that some other items like the web.php has changed, and then we can also find that this view's app.blade.php is a new file that is inside our untracked. We can see it over here, resources, views, app.blade.php, as you can see. And then we can see deleted resources, views, welcome.blade.php. And if we go into our app.blade.php, we can find a very little code. As a matter of fact, we find the routes that have been declared, the inertia that has been declared in the body, and we have this browser sync client.js, which is highly likely that this is the best case scenario for something running on the back, like our hot module, our hot reload module, which we're going to be using extensively today. So I've talked about a lot about these first changes for Jetstream instead of getting into the meat of what this project is about. So I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to run npm install or npm run dev just yet, but oh yes, and our app.css was also imported these things. The JS has also imported some few things here and there. So I'm going to do npm install, but I'm not going to run the npm run dev just yet. I have to import this package coming in from Nascent Africa, which is this Jetstrap. Composer require Nascent Africa Jetstrap, and then I'm going to save it as a developer, as a dev dependency. I've just increased my volume over here with the microphone, so I'm just trying to see if the best way of the best volume to deliver this, but it's only halfway, so it's good enough. So as you can see, everything has run well. It's all installed, and well, you'll find that everything has just run very well. So these things have just been installed. These things have just been run very well. So you'll find that if I come here and refresh this, we have nothing to go back to because it's looking for a database called Bootstrap test app, which is there's no problem with that really. It's just I don't want to use anything to do with MySQL, PHP or whatever, because this is just a test application and I don't want to, like, you know, take all that time to switch on XAMPP, go to PHP and do the necessary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my database folder over here and I'm going to create a new file. This new file is called database.SQLite. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be using SQLite for this project. We're going to run it on our .env. So I'm going to take the database.SQLite. I'm going to come and copy the relative path. No, I'm actually going to copy the path itself. And then come into my .env. And then come to my the DB database. Paste it there. And put it inside my quote notation. And I'm going to come in here to DB connection and click on SQLite, and that should be it. And then of course there's another constraint called DB foreign keys, and I'm going to leave it at true so that we run with the foreign keys. Alright, so once that is done, I'm going to save that and then I'm going to refresh this, and then we can see general error number 1, no such table sessions, which means that we've not run our migrations, but it's detected this as our main database. So I'm just going to come in here and do PHP artisan migrate, which is fine and dandy, and then we can have everything running smoothly. So you can see the mix manifest does not exist. So this means that we need to run the mix manifest so that we can have our resources displaying. And to do that, I'm going to run npm run dev for the first time. So which runs development, which runs mix, which is Laravel Mix's way of combining all our resources, CSS and JS, and putting it inside our public dot everything, I guess, our public folder. So you can see our CSS is there, our JS is there. Over here we have our Tailwind CSS, and over here we have our app.js with everything required. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close everything else. Even our database.SQLite, which we just created, has a few things in there. So that being done, I'm going to come and refresh, and everything should be running fine and dandy. So that's it. The login is working. The register is also working. My name is Steve, and my password should be 1. Ooh. Could be different from what I put in the first time, but it's registered and I'm logged in as well into a dashboard. So we're usually given a dashboard, which is also outlined with Tailwind CSS. So if we come in here and look at our files generally, I'm not going to even look at the public anymore. I'm not going to look at database or anything, because we're dealing with the front end. We're going to only look at the resources side of things. So inside our app.blade.php, we have inertia carrying out every single thing within the body. Now, inertia is being dealt with using the app.js and the inertia functions that are being carried within our composer packages for Jetstream. Now, if we come to the JS side of things, this is where our inertia view packages are going to be held. If we come into our JavaScript, so there's Jetstream, there's layouts, which is applay.view, which already carries all of the required Tailwind CSS mumbo jumbo. And we can see this by even coming in here and trying to change this name from dashboard to dashboard 1. And if I save this and then come in here and refresh, it won't run those changes just yet because of one particular item, the hot reload. So I'm going to do npm run hot and then wait for it to change over here. So I'm going to sit tight, wait for it to change. And once the Laravel mix build finishes, you will see the dashboard changing from dashboard to dashboard 1. Not sure how long that will be. To refresh, I don't understand why, but let's change it back to what it was before. Save it, and it's gonna run, and it's going to go back to dashboard, which is fine and dandy. Great, so the hot reload is working, and there's some few things that we still need to run so that we enable our Bootstrap to run in this project. So this was the command that I wanted to run. This is the composer require nascent Africa Jetstrap --dev. So it's going to install all those packages, and then we're going to have the swap functionalities for Jetstrap. So I'm going to leave this open, our app layout, so that we can see all the resources, all the classes change from Bootstrap's version to from Tailwind's version to Bootstrap versions, and we can run that. So I'm going to do PHP artisan to see the command that it has indeed installed. We can see the Jetstrap function over here, Jetstrap swap, which swaps Tailwind CSS for Bootstrap 4. Mind that it's Bootstrap 4. So PHP artisan Jetstrap swap. And then inside this Jetstrap swap, it takes another parameter and tells us which parameter are we swapping for. Are we swapping for Inertia, Livewire, or Breeze? And in this situation, I'm going to do Inertia because that's exactly what we're swapping for. So you can see immediately, it's just changed everything. You can see immediately I press that, it's changed everything from Tailwind to Bootstrap. And you can rewind that and actually see what has just happened, because I'm not going to cut that off. So I'm just going to run the npm install, right? So I'm going to run the npm install command and the npm run dev commands so that the assets are built. And I'm going to stop the hot reload so that we don't have a few conflicts here and there. And then I'm going to run npm run dev again. This time I don't want to watch the files just yet, because I want to show us first the Bootstrap 5 version, and then after the Bootstrap 5 version we can go and move on to the Bootstrap 4 version first, and then the Bootstrap 5 version. So just a point of correction right there. We're checking out the Bootstrap 4 version first, and then we go to the Bootstrap 5 version. So it's done this, and it needs us to run mix again. So I'm going to do npm run dev again so that the SAS load and everything. By the way, this is a new file over here. So it's removed the CSS. If we check the git status, it has deleted the CSS folder. And then over here in our CSS, it's going to change from Tailwind all the way till Bootstrap just now. So let's watch this file right here and see what happens next. As you can see, also that has changed from Tailwind CSS to Bootstrap CSS. And we can close that. We can just let it run as is. So we have this entire project that's running on Bootstrap. And if we come in here and refresh, we'll find that our app looks so much different. It looks more different than what it was before. The text over here was much thinner than what is there right now, and in the container of these items look more closed in. And then, of course, since it's Bootstrap, it's going to use its own JavaScript or its own jQuery versions to be able to do the toggling of the lists and all that stuff. If we go to our profile, of course, we can still see the same things that we would have seen in Jetstream, of course. And I'd advise you, even before you do this, you probably needed to check out your application a bit more extensively. Even if I go back to my main side of things, it's also changed to Bootstrap. Normally, if it was Tailwind in dark mode, in any dark mode of a browser, you'll find that Tailwind CSS will convert itself to the dark mode in terms of the Laravel and whatnot. So I'm just going to come back here into the dashboard, and we're going to change a few things. Okay, first things first, Bootstrap version 4 is done. So if you prefer Bootstrap version 4, the point of where your video ends is now. But now we want to install Bootstrap version 5 and implement all the changes that are there in Bootstrap version 5 from Bootstrap version 4. So what we're going to do in this situation is I'm going to do npm install, and then I'm going to say bootstrap and then at latest. The reason why I'm doing at latest is because if I go into my package.json right now, I'll come into Bootstrap and see version 4.6.0 being the version that has been installed. But if I come in here and press npm install bootstrap at latest, we'll check this out and see it change just now to Bootstrap version 5.1. So another point of magic to notice when you're coming to deal with these Bootstrap packages, or rather any dependencies of npm. So if you want to install the latest version, go ahead and do the at latest for that particular package. Next, I'm going to do npm run. And this time, since I've installed Bootstrap version 5.1.0, that's all I need at this point. I need to run, but you see, the thing is, with most of the packages of Bootstrap version 4, we didn't have Bootstrap icons set in place. So I'm going to do npm install bootstrap icons instead of using font awesome. And now at this point, I want to declare that font awesome is now dead. Bootstrap icons has come into play and it's really working very, very well. So I'm going to use Bootstrap icons from now till the end. And then I am going to do npm run watch. So I'm going to do npm run, okay, not even watch, I'll just do npm run hot so that we can do the hot reload. And we can see, we'll be able to see a lot of the changes implemented over here. Like this part over here will be moving or shifting to the left side because the spacing classes don't work anymore, and they've actually changed for a different cause or different purpose. So we're going to actually look at that. We're also going to look at the card system that has been implemented, and we see what it is that we're missing. So we have an error over here, and it states that we have that there's an undefined variable in our CSS. So this is what happens when we were dealing with Bootstrap version 4. We had this size variable, which was a very, very, very handy thing to use. But now, since it's not there in Bootstrap version 5, we have to redeclare it from scratch. So this, I'm just going to comment this out and say this is for sizes. So this is where you follow along when you're changing from Bootstrap version 4 to Bootstrap version 5. Now, this is what is going to happen. So I have this variable called sizes, and I'm going to equate it to, a function, and then I'm just going to call this as default, and then close that up. Now I want to add some more items into the sizes part, and by there I call this function, but it's just a listing of items. So if you guys get confused at any one point, air it out on the comment section down below. So inside here for sizes, these are for sizes for screens actually. So I'm just going to label it out like this. If we have 25, then the size is obviously going to be 25%. Then the next one is, if it's 50, we're just going to label it out as 50%. Then the next one is 75 and 100 and auto. So we have 75 here. Then we have 100 here. And then this one we have auto. And then I'm going to remove the percentage sign from the last auto and leave it at that. So these are the items that we are needing inside our CSS, our variables.scss right now. And at this point, everything will start compiling. So I'm just going to run hot again so that we can see everything run the way it's supposed to. So let us watch it run and fresh reload so that we can actually know what happens next. So we can see it's running the hot reload, and it's running everything as smoothly as you'd expect. So it's almost done. and 37%, 89%, and everything has been completed. The hot reload has not been pushed through. I don't understand why. So I'm just going to refresh this, and we can see Bootstrap 5 now has taken over, and we see this name is on this other side. If I click on this, the drop down is not working anymore, and there's a reason for that. So this is what happened in our conversion from Bootstrap version 4 to Bootstrap version 5. We forewent a lot of things, such as spacing. Spacing is the first thing that we need to actually talk about. So in terms of spacing, and I'm going to create a new untitled file over here. I'm going to select a language, and I'm just going to use batch. So the first one here is spacing. Spacing has variables of m and p. So m to mean margin, and p to mean padding, right? And then we have the variables of, we used to have t, which meant top, and we have b, which meant bottom, and those remain there. Now the remaining ones are left, which has been deprecated, and we have right, which also has been deprecated. So now these ones have been replaced. So these ones have gone, all of them. What we have now remaining is we have S to mean start, and this one is for left. So this one is for left, and then we also have end, which is for right. Right, so these are the new spacing parameters that have changed. Next thing is the data binding. So data binding, we used to have data.toggle and data dash anything else. All of this have been replaced. And now we're going to have things like data. Now for toggle, for example, it will be data.bs-toggle. Forget me saying dot, it should be dash. And data bs dash whatever else. So this should be the new ways of the data binding. The next thing probably that I may have left out is that well, let's actually see what else is coming into play. So I'm going to close this, and I don't save it because I don't want to save that. So we'll come in here into this data toggle area. I'm going to just simply add, or simply just select like this, and then select all the ones that are following like that. So there are actually like 2 of them, I believe. So wherever that exists, I'm going to replace with the data dash bs dash and replace all of them just like that. So I'm going to click that only once, because if I click it again, it will do the same thing and add data bs or data bs or something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to save that, and then since it's at hot reload, I'm going to select this. I don't know why it's not popping up yet. Yes, there's more. There's probably more that I've not touched. So at this point, maybe drop down is the one. So database toggle collapse is the toggler. Margin left auto. This is another thing that needs to change. Okay, so let's actually just change everything. So we've changed data BS to toggle, data BS target, and all those things. Now we need to just change the MR. So there's probably more of these. All MR should be margin and dash, like that. I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to look for ML as well. So I'm just going to come in here, type in ML dash, and then look for all of them and say that all this should be replaced by margin start dash. I'm going to replace it once, and there'll be no more results. I'm going to save, and then we can see the hot reload has worked, but the data toggling has not yet. So we're going to look at the drop down area of this particular item, because most likely we have something to do with the drop down that's refusing. So you can see with app layout also, it has other components within this particular layout component. We can see jet dropdown is over here. So jet dropdown is inside Jetstream as the dropdown component, which is over here. So you can see over here the data toggle also exists. So we can have here a dash bs dash, save that, come in here. After Laravel Mix has built, I'm going to click on this and it works seamlessly. Another thing that probably shook people is how some of these other ones, like the drop-down link, look a bit weird. The X factors of the padding left, padding right still remain, so don't worry about that. X and Y, they still remain. Drop-down item, I think it's still a class within Bootstrap 5. I don't think anything much has changed on that level. Mostly it's just the spacing, maybe just the card binding and all those things. So with that being done, we have the Laravel Jetstream package already set, and it's ready to use. It's ready to now customize to your liking. You can involve admin LTE, you can involve any other package, any other Bootstrap package. I would personally go and do Bootstrap made. I'll go to Bootstrap made and then look for some components or some templates or whatnot. Mostly the admin templates, like this one, nice admin, which is really good. But you know, and then you can customize it to your liking, just given that the template is there. You can come in here to agency and take some landing pages and customize them also to your liking. And they'll work seamlessly with the Bootstrap version that you've installed now at this point. So other factors, maybe if there's more parts over here that need to be changed, there's action message, action section, application logo, which doesn't have anything, application mark, authentication card, which has maybe margin left, margin right, I don't know. Authentication card logo, which has margin bottom 4, which is okay. We have banner. Banner has some classes for Tailwind, but if I did ML and looked for it, I'll find it, and then I want to change it with MS, which is fine. And then I did MR. I want to change it with ME. So I found it and I'll change that. What next? So yeah, that's it. So there's the button. There's a checkbox, which doesn't have any. There's confirmation modal. Confirmation modal, now you can see that's another point of concern. I'll change that. And then I'll also change the ML side of things, which is not existing. Confirmation modal confirms password is okay. Danger button is okay. Dialog modal. So the dialog modal, I'm not sure if the modal will work, but most of the time, if you're using Bootstrap, you wouldn't want to use the dialog modal item. You'll probably use the Bootstrap modals themselves. So that being said, I think I am done explaining how to extract Bootstrap version 5 into our Laravel Jetstream application. So that being said, you guys can now freely use this. And I think at this point, I'm just going to add everything into the Git repository that I'm going to be creating right now. So I'm going to come in here, go to my repositories. I'm going to come and create one. And then Bootstrap test app. So this is the name of the repository that you guys are going to look for. And I'm going to create it just now and make it public to all of you who are going to be watching this video. So just to confirm, you will see me push this just now. So I'm just going to do git add all, then check the status and see how many files have been changed with all those few commands that you've seen me do in this past 45 minutes. So I'm just going to check the status, which is as follows. So you can see we have some modified files, we have some new files like this, the middlewares and all. We have the major point of concern over here is the deleted files, like the welcome.blade.php and it being replaced by the welcome.view, which is really good. Because now at this point, if I came to my homepage, what you saw as my homepage was actually inside view and not inside the Blade templates anymore. And you can see we have Inertia, we have Vue, we have PHP, jQuery, Axios, Laravel, all those things that are being implemented within our main application over here, the dashboard, the admin dashboard. We can come into the profile section of things and everything will be working fine and dandy. Now, the last thing I want to do is git commit and to commit the changes, and then I'll say Jetstrap with Bootstrap advancement. Bootstrap 5 actually, Bootstrap 5 advancement now. And then I'm going to say git remote add origin, and I'm going to say that. Okay, and then git push origin master. I'm gonna use a master branch, no main over here, but you guys you're free to comment whatever you'd want. And you will find it here, ladies and gentlemen. I have left it for you. You can have this as your starting point. Go and do whatever you please. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been Steve Nyanumba with TechChats, hoping to help you guys out as much as possible. I hope you guys have found this video very informative. I don't know if I'm going to partition this into videos, but yeah, regardless, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me in learning about Jetstream, in learning about Bootstrap version 4 and version 5. And I hope to see you guys later in future videos. Laravel 8, Vue.js, Express, whatever or not, we'll find each other on this particular channel. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.